Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Kunja Bihari
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Jaya Gopi
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Jaya Gopi
Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Randana Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Randana Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Randana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jayu Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayu Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayu Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Rama Rama Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Jayo Jai Prabhupada, Jayo Jai Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. कलेगा पावन श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन कीजिए, हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र कीजिए, इताय गौर प्रेमानंद। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। Welcome all to the morning Bhagvatam class, Monday morning Bhagvatam class. Is it a public holiday today? Yeah? Oh yes. I was wondering why so many audience are there today. What on what occasion, Prabhu? I don't know. Huh? May 1st, Labour's Day. Ambedkar? Ambedkar. So, yes. So we are discussing from 5th canto, chapter 16, text 4. So this verse is in not in a reciting way, so we can just I'll tell. Rishirvacha navai maharaja bhagavato maya guna vibhute kastam manasa vachasa vadigantam alam vibhuda yushapi purusha tasmat pradhan enaiva bhu golaka vishesham nama rupamana lakshanato vyakhyāsyamaha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. The great Rishi Sukadeva Goswami said, "My dear king, there is no limit to the expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead's material energy. This material world is a transformation of material qualities, Sattva Guna, Rajo Guna and Tamo Guna. Yet no one could possibly explain it perfectly even in a lifetime as long as that of Brahma. No one in the material world is perfect, and an imperfect person could not describe this material universe accurately, even after continued speculation. O king, I shall nevertheless try to explain to you the principal regions such as Bhuloka with their names, forms, measurements, and various symptoms. Purport. The material world is only 1/4 of the Supreme Personality of Godhead's creation. But it is unlimited and it is impossible for anyone to know or describe. Even with the qualification of a life as long as that of Brahma, who lives for millions and millions of years. Modern scientists and astronomers try to explain the cosmic situation and the vastness of space, and some of them believe that all the glittering stars are different suns. From Bhagavad Gita, however, we understand that all these stars are like the moon, in that they reflect the sunshine. They are not independent luminaries. Bhuloka is explained to be the portion of the outer space through which the heat and light of the sun extend. Therefore, it is natural to conclude that this universe extends in space as far as we can see and encompass the glittering stars. Srila Sukadeva Goswami admitted that to give full details of this expansive material universe would be impossible. But nevertheless, he wanted to give the king as much knowledge as he had received through the parampara system. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurun Shri Utapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajim Sadvaitam Sabadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namani Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyati Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaurati Shinma He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute Taptaka Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriya Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyev cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Matvanam Pangam Lagayate Grimat Kripata Mahamuni Shri Guru Tena Shri Chaitanya. Yes. So here we are discussing 5th canto, chapter 16. So in the previous to this, we all know that Priyavata Maharaj. So Sukadeva Goswami had told that Priyavata Maharaj through his chariot, he happened to go in the opposite direction of the sun in order to lit the night, which is he was feeling that I want to lit even night as well. Why there should be day? Why there should be night? So while doing so, his chariot made truncate 7 oceans, between which there were lands. Bhulo is Bhumandala, the very description. But Sukadeva Goswami told only this much, but Parikshit Maharaj wanted to know in detail what all are there in that. So Parikshit Maharaj asked Sukadeva Goswami, kindly explain me the details of Bhumandala. So this is the background, and Sukadeva Goswami, and why Parikshit Maharaj asked that, like he said that just by understanding the intricate details of this universe won't come to the mode of goodness. That's what it is said, Parikshit Maharaj. One comes to the mode of goodness. And then to understand Krishna and all is, from there it begins. Yeah? So first we have to come to the mode of goodness. How? By we will become humble when we try to understand what is there in this universe. In fact, this very verse, we can see how Sukadeva Goswami is replying to this. He is telling, even one goes on millions of lifetime like that of Brahma, even then it is difficult to understand what is there in this universe. He is telling, even one goes on to the millions of years like Brahma, it is difficult to understand what is there in this universe. Yeah. And no one in this world is perfect. Yes, we all know that when this comes sixth canto, when Yamadutas were asked, who is to be punished by Vishnudutas? They told everyone has to be punished. Why? Because everyone are invariably under three modes. Anyone who is under three modes invariably commit mistakes. Yeah. But you see, a person like Sukadeva Goswami is liberated. He is liberated. But even he is telling it's difficult to understand what to speak of. But the puny scientists who are just flapping for a few days. Flapping for few days like fish, what they can tell. Correct, na? So even Sukadeva Goswami is telling this is very difficult to understand. Yeah? But nevertheless, I will tell you. I will tell you what I have heard in Parampara. Prabhupada is very clarifying. It's not that a person goes on like millions of like Brahma, even he cannot tell. I will tell you, come. I will tell you. Not like that. Prabhupada is clarifying that whatever I heard in Parampara, I will just tell you. I will just repeat whatever I heard. This is the humility. This is the humility which is hidden in the great acharyas, great souls, great acharyas. They are not, so only they are representing Parampara. So unless one is humble, one cannot actually represent Parampara. Even Prabhupada also, many times, he told, my only credit is I am repeating my spiritual master. Yeah. I might not be, and many times he will, I am not here, so Prabhupada, are you perfect? No, I might not be perfect. My disciples also might not be perfect, but we are representing perfect. We are taking the knowledge from perfect person. So our knowledge is perfect. Like that. So we can understand that how even now if you go on the road and if you want to ask some location you want to go, you don't know whether that fellow will tell proper route or not, because they don't know until they don't know, they'll tell here. If you go there, there is nothing here actually. So you have to reconfirm by asking 3-4 people, because no one wants to admit that they don't know. Some philosophical question you happen to ask to anyone who is a little bit proud, first thing comes is mental speculation. He doesn't want to admit that I don't know. It may be like that, maybe like that. According, in my opinion, maybe all these things will come. And Prabhupada is very against this. What is the value of your maybe and opinion? I used to tell. Yes. So invariably the whole world is filled with mental speculation. It's a inductive process wherein they don't prefer the authorities, rather they by their own mental speculation they have to come at a conclusion. And what it is said, pantastu kote satasambrama sampragamya vayu rathapi manaso munipungavanam sopyasti achintatve govinda madi purusham tamaham bhajami. Even one travel the speed of mind for millions and millions of years, one will not be able to understand the Supreme Lord. Yes, and even to understand this material world, which is nothing but in relation to Krishna, even that is also is very difficult to understand. That's what Sukadeva Goswami is telling. That even if you speculate for millions of years, you will not be able to understand what is there in this universe. So our path is hearing from Parampara. And I think I missed a few, I missed some purport, I think. I wrote the full? I missed some purport actually. Later I just missed some last purport. Last para I missed. We should conclude that if one cannot comprehend the material expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one certainly cannot estimate the expansiveness of the spiritual world. The Brahma Samhita confirms this. Advaitam achyutam anadim ananta rupam adhyam purana purusham navayavvanam cha. The limits of the expansions of Govinda, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, cannot be estimated by anyone. Even a person as perfect as Brahma, not to speak of any tiny scientist whose senses and instruments are all imperfect and who cannot give us information of even this one universe. We should therefore be satisfied with the information obtainable from Vedic sources as spoken by authorities like Sukadeva Goswami. It made more clear whatever we discussed. The last para I missed, but it is clarifying that we should be satisfied with the information given in the Vedic literature. Because where our senses cannot perceive, what remains is authority. Just like Prabhupada says that a person, a small child, if he wants to understand who is the father, authority is only mother. Where all experimental things will fail in that sense. Only authority. Mother tells, okay, this is what they have to accept. If he wants to speculate, if he wants to do some experiment, medical kind of thing, then he has to go on. There will be so much uncertainty in the result. So this, and also this sloka from Brahma Samhita says how there are varieties of universe with varieties of variegatedness. Yasya prabha prabhavato jagananda koti shasheshu vasudhadi vibhuti vinnam tad brahma nishkalam anantam ashesha bhutam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Yes. So Vedic literatures not only speak of this universe, it speaks about many universe. There are ananta koti brahmanda, and there are variegated more varieties there throughout. Yes. So Sukadeva Goswami is subtly bringing out the importance of sticking to parampara. Yes. If one cannot understand the intricacies of universal structure, one cannot understand by world geography. That's what they tell now, that the what is it? Big Bang. Infinitesimal, infinite, infinite density, infinite, and it is indescribable, unverifiable. So this is world geography only. So by this you cannot understand universe. Yeah? So it takes humility to stick to parampara. Yes, if one is proud, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki jai, Gaurangi Bengalurishwar ki jai, Gaur Neta ki jai. If one is proud, then one may try to explain out of parampara. Yes. Sometimes even it is a default in me also. Sometimes when people ask something, we tend to speculate. We don't want to admit that I don't know. We somehow that speculation comes in. It enters in. Somehow we should try to stick to parampara and just I don't know. Just we should be humble and tell don't know, not to speculate and tell something which is not in parampara. And later we will somehow Paramatma will say, if I told something which is not there only, we will be feeling that conscience will be the Paramatma say you told something else, like that. So we should always stick to parampara. What we know we should represent. If we don't know, no. But outside world, no, don't know, they know, but when they open their mouth, one is speculate. Maybe. In my opinion, like that, they just start speaking. So Prabhupada gives this wonderful example. Just like gold, you accept blindly or by chemical examination. The gold is the same. So if you are a scientist, if you say that first of all I shall test whether it is gold and chemical composition and other ingredients, then I will accept you. And somebody say, no, my father says it is gold, my Guru Maharaj says it is gold. Well, so many acharyas say it is gold, then you accept it, gold. So one accepts gold by authoritative statement of the superiors, and one accepts gold by chemical analysis. So one who accepts by the authoritative statement, he is more advanced. He immediately gets the gold immediately. And those who are awaiting for chemical examination, they will get it, but they have to wait millions of lifetime. Yes. So Prabhupada said, just we go by authority. And even Sukadeva Goswami, such a liberated soul, even is sticking to parampara. What to speak of those who don't know. So Srila Prabhupada emphasizes on sticking to parampara. Because invariably a person who has taken birth in this material world has 4 defects: imperfect senses, tendency to get illusioned, to commit mistakes, and cheating. With these all 4 defects, we cannot arrive at a proper conclusion. Yeah. Yeah, even Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita that he says, Athava bhavunetena kim jatena tamarjana vishtabhyam idam krishnam ekam chena shito jagat. Krishna goes further. Of course, many acharyas, Prabhupada time and again explains this, that the whole material world is only 1/4 of spiritual world. And we can see the whole material world itself is like millions of universes are there. Ananta Koti. And that is also only 1/4 of the spiritual world. And there is no, and Krishna says there is no limit to it. There is no, what is the need of this? What is the need? What need is there, Arjuna? For all this detailed knowledge, with a single fragment of myself, I will provide and support the entire universe. Yes? So ultimately, one will not simply progress by understanding the details of the material universe. But if one becomes humble and we submit to the Supreme Lord, then he will progress. So our path is not to know everything in detail, but to submit to the Lord, I don't know anything, you please help me. That is our path. Yes? If one tries to go on, if one tries to go in that path, then he will become proud. Because he doesn't depend. When there is no dependency, then what comes? Proud comes, I know everything. Yes? Yeah. And this also one sloka is there from Bhagvatam. Yeah. But why we will discuss all these things in relation to this material universe, the second canto very nicely explains. Mayam varnayato moshya ishwarasyanu modatha shunmata shraddhaya nityam maya atman moyati. The Lord's activity in association with his different energies should be described, appreciated and heard in accordance with the teachings of the Supreme Lord. If this is done regularly with devotion and respect, one is sure to get out of the illusory energy of the Lord. So when we try to understand this material universe with respect to what is stated by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita Bhagavatam, by discussing that, one can surely come out of Maya. So that is our purpose, not to know everything, but to come out of illusory energy. By discussing about this, as per the Vedic text, we will come out of the illusory energy. I think here it is. So so we know in many places in scriptures how devotees have taken an humble role. Yeah. So one example is Sanatana Goswami. Sanatana Goswami, he was a finance minister, very advanced, very learned. But he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for the first time in Ramkeli. You know what he told? Apanara ita hita kichunai jani gramya vyavahare pandita tai satyamani. He says, I do not know what is beneficial for me or what is detrimental. Nonetheless, in ordinary dealings, people consider me a learned scholar, and I am also thinking of myself as such. Yes? This is what in the outside world, people, they don't know what is good and what is bad for them, but they think they are very great. And that is why preaching is very difficult. Why? Because people are proud of their so-called knowledge. They don't want to understand the true reality. Yes? Yeah. कृपा करी यदि मोरे करिया चा उधार अपना कृपा ते कहा कर्तव्य अनार. Out of your causeless mercy, you have delivered me from the materialistic path. Now, by the same causeless mercy, please tell me what is my duty. किया मी कहने मैं जानता पत्र है यह नहीं जानी के माने हिता है. Who am I? Why do the threefold miseries always give me trouble? If I do not know this, how can I be benefited? साध्य साधना तत्व पूछिते न जानी कृपा करी सर्व तत्व कहता अपनी. Actually, I do not know how to inquire about the goal of life and the process for obtaining it. Being merciful upon me, please explain all these truths. You see, this is the mood of great souls, that they always represent in a very humble state, and they approach. Yeah. And even this one more incident from Srimad Bhagvatam. You know, in the beginning, Narada Muni, seeing Brahmaji, Brahmaji's his acts are very, very powerful. And Narada Muni was also confused. Is Brahma is great or someone is above than Brahma? And he asked a few questions to Brahmaji. Yad rupam yadadisthanam yathashishtam yathasamstam yad param yadcha. He is asking symptoms of his manifested world. What is its shelter? How is it created? How is it conserved? What it depends on? What is it composed of? Yes? He is asking Brahmaji, and he is telling, I think you are the supreme independent Lord. And he gives an analogy, just like a spider creates and wants everything within itself. I think you are like a spider. But I have a doubt. He is telling, why do you perform so much austerity then? Is there anyone above you? Is there anyone above you? It's clarifying. And Brahmaji, what do you say? There is no one above me, I am only everything. So in general, if you ask someone who is above you, he wants to be top. There should no one above. Asamurdhva. No one equal to me or greater than me. So we want in subtly we want to become Asamurdhva. There should no one above me. What Brahmaji says? Oh, thank you, Narada Muni. Narada, thank you very much. Yeah. By this question, he is actually helping me to meditate on the Supreme who is above me. Immediately, it reminded of Brahma. He reminded what this question, it reminded Brahma of the Supreme Lord, who is his master. Yeah? And he says, anyone who is bewildered by the illusionary energy of the Supreme Lord will think like whatever, means he will think like I am Supreme. I am only Supreme. Yeah? But I only recreate what is already created. So he is admitting. Brahmaji is admitting that everything is done by Lord only. Simply I am representing him. Yeah? My obeisance to the Lord, by whose Maya people call me the Supreme Controller. Yeah? Identifying with me and mine, bewildered people talk nonsense. Brahmaji is telling. Yeah? Yes. So only by Lord's grace can one assimilate the absolute truth. Yes? So what attracts absolute truth? Humility. Yeah? And this sloka gives very nice explanation on this. Atapite deva padambujadvayam prasadaleshanugrihite vai janati tattvam bhagavan mahimno nachane kopi chiran vichinur. Yes? Yeah. My Lord, if one is favored by even a slightest trace of your mercy, of your lotus feet, he can understand the greatness of your personality, but those who speculate to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead are unable to know you, even though they continue to study the Vedas for many years. Yeah? Not possible. So one should attract the grace of the Supreme Lord by humbling oneself to know Him. And there is one nice story in Chaitanya Charitamrita. It comes, a story of Tapan Mishra. Tapan Mishra was a very learned personality, a Brahmin family. He has read many scriptures. He has vast knowledge. But his heart was always not satisfied because he was trying to understand the truth. And he used to go everywhere, ask so many people about what is goal and how to attain it. There was no one that he has not met. But nowhere else he was not satisfied with the answers what people were giving. But day and night this urge, this eagerness to know truth was not leaving him. He was a miserable person in that sense. Yeah. But he was not satisfying. He was not satisfied with be good, do good, be happy, no need to do anything, just do what you want, be happy. He was not satisfied with this kind of answers. Why you want to know all these things? Just be happy, just enjoy life. Like this he was not at all happy with these kind of things. But he's a very learned person. He learned many scriptures. And finally, in the dream, one effulgent personality came and told that what you are seeking for, you can get. Right nearby, the Supreme Person of Godhead, Lord Chaitanya has come, who is none other than Supreme Person of Godhead. Please approach him and you will get the answer. And the very next day, Tapan Mishra goes, yes, and the Lord had come there. So he goes and immediately he put Dandavat Pranam and he submits to the Supreme Lord. That he asks, oh Lord, actually I am very much confused about the real goal of life and how to attain it. So please kindly explain to me what is what. Yeah? And the Supreme Lord explains this. Yeah. So the Supreme Lord explained that the highest goal is to attain to love Krishna, and the goal, the means to attain that is to chant Hare Krishna. So please chant Hare Krishna. Immediately Tapan Mishra accepted. So it's a little bit wonder, right? That he had gone to many people, was not at all satisfied. Here only few minutes the conversation was there. Immediately his heart was satisfied with the answer. Why? He was not convinced with any answers given by so many people. But Lord told the highest goal is to love Krishna, please chant Hare Krishna to attain it. Prabhu Vishnu accepted. He was such a learned person, very intellectual. Very intellectual. He has read so many Shastra. But he was passive with simple question, simple answer. Love Krishna, chant Hare Krishna. So what was so I was hearing Maharaj lecture, Radhanath Swami Maharaj. He tells, I'll just repeat it. This is an interesting story. One may wonder that Tapan Mishra was such a great scholar and he was for years profusely studying the Vedas and approaching so many great scholars and great spiritual thinkers. And he was not satisfied with any of these words, and he only spoke to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for just a few minutes. And the Lord gave him such simple instruction, just chant Krishna, that is all. So how such a deep thinker was satisfied with such a simple idea? The reason is this. Because he approached the Supreme Lord with a humble heart, truly seeking the truth, by the Lord's mercy, he was able to fully satisfy with the simple instruction. Similarly, if one has a humble heart and approaches a representative, a bona fide representative of the Lord, a pure spiritual master or representative of such a great soul, with a sincere desire to know the truth, then by the mercy of the Lord in the heart, he gives this simple faith. Yeah? So the highest truth is accessible only to a person who is eagerly wanting to know with humble heart. He can actually assimilate the highest truth. That is, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. This is a simple statement by Prabhupada, but it requires a humble heart to accept this with faith. Yes. So we'll conclude here. Thank you. Hare Krishna. If there is any question, I would like to take. Yes, Prabhu. Chant Hare Krishna. Chant with those devotees who have great eagerness to chant. Then we get desire to chant. Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prashant.
Hare Krishna. Yena kena prakarena mana Krishna nivesanat. Whatever possible we should do from our end. Then Krishna will show his grace. We should do our part. Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prashant for explaining. So initially we were explaining that this aspect of creation is not so easy to understand. Even Sukadeva Goswami is also telling that try as much possible to understand. And even Prabhupada also is telling it's not easy to understand. So we see Parikshit Maharaj only 7 days was there. And somewhere say we are already at, fifth canto, which is almost like 3-4 days would have passed. Hardly 4 days are left for a person to die. And in that, taking up such topic to be discussed, which is not understandable, will not take away some amount of time, rather than, because you mentioned it will bring us to goodness, then transcendence. But what was the need for Parikshit Maharaj to learn about? Rather would have discussed, maybe 6th canto at least, would have skipped this aspect.
Very nice question, Prabhu. Yes, Parikshit Maharaj is not only asking for himself. There are many other people who are in the assembly. He has to see for them also.
Parikshit Maharaj is going to die.
Yeah.
He is considered.
Yes.
Considered himself.
Yeah. Yeah. So great souls are not only interested in their own deliverance, but they are interested in all those people who are stuck in this material world. Yes. So the very fact this question was told because there are Gandamishra devotees there, sitting there. If this question is asked, all those great people will be getting benefited. Yes. So this question was not only with respect to Parikshit Maharaj asked many means he could have directly asked, tell me about Krishna, don't tell about everything, I just want to go back to God. No, the so many things was discussed. It incorporates, Parikshit Maharaj is worried about all the living entities. The very 5th canto, at the end, Parikshit Maharaj was worried. Oh, all living entities are going to hell. What will happen to them? Please tell me how to deliver them. This was his question. He could have asked directly, please tell me about Krishna. So, the great souls are not interested only in their deliverance. They want all living entities to go back to Godhead. And Prahlad Maharaj says, let me be here throughout. Until all the living entities go back to God, I will be here only, my Lord. Because I am simply happy, simply remembering you. A devotee is happy. What is that? Narayana parasarvena kadasthana bibhati swarga apavarga narakesho apitulyata darshanam. A devotee is happy either in material world or spiritual world because he is engaged in devotional service. So where there is devotional service, there is spiritual world. Parikshit Maharaj is happy, but he wants to benefit all living entities. So he is asked the question.
Do we have to really learn this creation very nicely? One thing is that it will help us to bring us to goodness. But does it really that we have to study this?
He might not know in detail because Prabhupada himself told we should be satisfied with whatever information is given in Bhagavatam. We should be satisfied with that.
More of information, but say devotional aspect, maybe we get from this.
But by this we can understand how much we are insignificant. We become humble. Then that humility leads to dependence on Krishna. Did I answer your question, Paul? Thank you. Srimad Bhagvatam ki. Jai. ठीक है बोलो.
Like how the seeds would survive in space without oxygen?
Huh?
How these kings would survive in space without oxygen?
How the kings? Yeah, this is kings survive oxygen with what proof?
You told initially that Prabhu Maharaj went outside, to create all the 7 islands and everything.
Yeah.
And then the outer space. So
Outer space.
So they are human beings or what? Like?
Oh, actually, this is very nice question. So, actually, this Priyota Maharaj was able to do all those things because he has taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. If you take sincerely shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, it is said one can do impossible task. Impossible task. We might not, it not make possible from our end, but if Supreme Lord helps, it is possible. He was able to travel in space and create all those big, big oceans. How is it possible? He was telling. Without oxygen.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. You said we have to be humble, but there is one impediment. Most of the time what happens is we say that I know more. Why should I listen to him? So how can we get up?
So, a very nice question. So, how can we get that? By serving great souls. When we humble ourselves and we really know what is that we are, that problem is there. At least that identification itself is a plus point. Correct, na? So then we understand that then whenever great souls come, Dhamma Mahadupasana. When we serve great souls and we get some chastisement from them, we get purified. Then by grace of Krishna, we will become humble.
It's a name for Krishna called Urukrama.
Urukrama, yeah. Urukrama, great activities.
You know that Urukrama?
भूल गया मुझे. भी आ जाए.
So, Satya Sautan can do many things. How did Hanuman jump?
Yeah.
Even he did not know he can jump. Even he didn't know that. He can jump. Who thought Prabhupada can go all over the world? Even Prabhupada didn't do it. He can do it.
Yeah.
Now we see that reality. But Prabhupada was not even taught by Prabhupada himself. But it was done by Krishna. So therefore, Bhakti is 10% knowledge, 90% devotion. Then only you will survive. If 90% knowledge, 10% devotion, you will survive.
ठीक है. ग्रंथरा श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय. शिला प्रभुपाद की जय.